So it's day 4 on the Big Island. I have a ride planned again today. I have planned a couple of different routes, actually, options for today, and it's going to depend on how I feel. I have a 120k route plan that goes from here, where we are in Waikoloa Beach Club thing, I think, up to a place called Havi. So it will basically follow the Ironman course from here to Havi. Havi is the turnaround point on the Ironman course. There's a coffee stop there, Waimea Coffee Company. I haven't been to that one. I haven't been to Havi yet, but I've been to one of the other ones in Waimea, and that was excellent. So I figured that would be a good place to stop for coffee. Then there'll be a couple of options. One option is I can turn around and come back. That will make it about 85-90 kilometers in total, and fairly flat, like 600 meters elevation total, but fairly flat, undulating. You just collect those as you go. The other option is I come over the mountain pass into Waimea, so that would add an extra 1,000 meters of elevation, and then from Waimea basically take the descent that I took a couple of days ago, where it was super windy and super gnarly. Now the trade winds are supposed to have sort of eased off now. Looking around, it still looks pretty breezy, but it is supposed to be less windy. Like, the forecast winds are like 5-6 miles an hour. So if that's true, then that descent will be much more fun today, which is, again, another reason I'm thinking to take it in. But it's all going to depend on how I feel today. I've gone deaf pretty much in both ears. I went for a swim a couple of days ago, came out of the water, couldn't hear, still can't hear. I've tried ear drops of all different variety, nothing is working. So that's a bit weird. I can hear, but it's like I've got earplugs in almost, which is super annoying. But anyway, weather at the moment looks epic. Like, I cannot see a single cloud in the sky. It changes fast here though. So like 1 minute it's beautifully sunny, and then the next minute there's just thick black cloud and it starts spitting with rain. Haven't had any big downpours yet since we've been here. It's mostly been just perfect sunshine. So yeah, I'm just going to see how I go, basically. I don't really understand the weather patterns yet locally. My body is still adjusting to time zones and recovering from the long flights and stuff, even though it's been a week. So just going to see how my body fares, going to see how the adventure goes. The road into Havi, the first half is like a big highway that I did before the Ironman course, and that's pretty tough going mentally. But then it seems to become based on the map, it seems to become a slightly less major road as you go around the top of the island into Havi. So we'll see how that is as well. So yeah, basically I'm going to have an adventure. I'm going to not put myself under pressure to finish any particular route, but I've got a couple of routes planned so that I know what my options are. And with that, I am going to get going. So I made it the 50 k's from where we're staying in Waikoloa to Havi. Havi is a cute little village, I'm going to say, at the top of the Big Island. I've just stopped for coffee. Waimea Coffee Company. Really good coffee, really well made. I was absolutely busting for the loo when was riding up here, and the road from where we're staying to Havi is the Ironman course. It's this straight highway, and actually the last 20 kilometers into Havi are really nice. It's not quite as big and open as the first stretch of highway, more of an ocean road, and not very busy at all. I think maybe a handful, 20 cars passed me maybe, and everyone gave me room, so that was nice. But what I will say is the coffee stop only had a portaloo, so that was a bit traumatic. But I've had a pee, I've had a coffee, and I'm about to get back on the road. So this is Havi. So I don't know if you can see, but there is a few little shops, and the coffee shop is just behind me. I'm about to go down there to that junction where that crossing is, and I'm going to hook a right, and then that right takes me up over the mountains, and I'll go up over the top through the mountain pass and then down into Waimea, where I will stop for let the lorry go past, where I will stop for another coffee and wee break, and then from there it's the big descent down to the place we're staying at. It's like 30 k's, but it is super fast descent, and I'm just hoping there's less wind today than there was when I did it 2 days ago. It feels like there's less wind, but it did pick up ever so slightly when I was on the coastal road. So let's see. I am having huge amounts of fun. It's not too hot. It's not too windy. Yeah, it's a bit relentless, that first stretch, but this should get more interesting because it's a mountain pass. So let's see what Hawaii has to offer. I'm looking forward to it. So I am on the mountain pass. Very different road to anything I've ridden so far. There's no hard shoulder, so I'm just in the lane. It's very smooth, buttery, smooth tarmac. It's quite narrow for American road, but really, as I said, really smooth. The climb starts in Hawi. Like the second I turned off the junction, you're straight onto like a 5% incline. And then it's just going to keep going basically for about 800 meters. So I'm about 2 k's in, got about another 15, 17 k's to go, something like that. But as you can see, it's much lusher, much greener on this road. So yeah, it's going to make for a very different ride. Glad I decided to do it. Back to it. So I've made it to Waimea. I came here from Hawi over the mountain pass. That was an epic road. Smooth tarmac. It was about 25, 30 k's of climbing, solid. Like straight out of Hawi. Like you turned right from the junction and you're immediately on like a 5% incline. And you just keep climbing all the way up. The higher you go, the greener it gets. There's a couple of big ranches at the top, cows and horses. And then about 7-8 kilometers from Waimea, you just then start descending, and it's a really lovely descent actually. It's not too steep, and the road just S's. So where the climb out of Hawi is quite straight, the descent into Waimea is quite twisty, which is really, really nice. It was super windy initially, but then the wind died down a bit, so it was quite windy, but not so much that it took away from the descending. So yeah, absolute blast. Really highly recommend. I think I'll pull together a blog post for the routes I'm doing here in Hawaii and just make some notes and share it. And if I do that, there should be a link in the description of this video. But yeah, highly recommend. From Waimea, I go back down the descent into Waikoloa. So it's about 35-40 kilometers, but it's solid descending the whole way. And last time it was brutally windy. So I'm hoping this time it'll be less windy, but let's see. But yeah, if it's not windy, it'll be a great fun descent. If it is windy, I'll just get through it as best I can. So let's see. Back to my coffee and my cake, and then back to my ride.